All right, so Dillon, let's start at the very beginning, as they say. Tell us how you started and how you got to this point now with Jeff Ruby Entertainment, where you're the executive vice president.
Absolutely. So I started just as a little boy running around the restaurants. You know, I always referred to the employees as my babysitters back in the day when I was a kid. My parents would bring me into the restaurant and just kind of leave me there and let the employees watch me. And that was how I got my early start, just from hiding under the tables, playing hide and seek. But now, things are a little different, and a lot of those same employees are still with us. So it's kind of interesting to be a little bit older now, a little bit more mature, and to be able to be the one that's trying to take care of those employees instead.
How was that transition, moving from literally the ground floor all the way up to the executive suites here?
It was something that I worked really hard for. It was something that my father told me, you'll never get into management until after college. So that was something where I learned every position, started from the ground up, from washing dishes to being a server assistant to valeting, all the way up through serving, and then eventually into management.
What kind of lessons do you think you learned along the way that have helped you in this management role?
I think the greatest lesson that I learned is that our most valuable asset are our human resources. The people that take care of our guests are the ones that we want to take care of, and that's been a great opportunity for me, as I'm mainly in HR now.
A lot of times when kids grow up in a family business, they're like, I don't know if I want to go into that line of work. What made you decide that this is where you wanted to be?
I knew from an early age that this is what I wanted to do. Every time I was in the restaurants, I just had so much fun, so much joy. It sounds cliche, I know my parents have said it and many people have heard it, but you find something that you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. I truly feel like I haven't worked a day in my life. I love coming into work every day. Every day presents its own opportunities. Every day presents its own challenges. COVID surely taught us a thing or two in the restaurant industry, and it's only made us stronger, so I really enjoy it.
You mentioned the struggles with COVID, and especially this winning culture. It seems like that's even more important now. When people had that time to step back and stay home, they realized what it is they wanted to do to take them away from that home. So how has that kind of molded that winning culture and bringing in employees after the pandemic?
I think COVID taught us a lot of valuable lessons. Katy Perry says it best, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. We got a lot stronger during COVID. A big part of that was because when we came back to open our doors back up, we didn't start at zero from the hiring table. We never let go of any employees. They were all able to maintain their health benefits. So during a time of need, especially at a time when there was no end in sight, there was no light at the end of the tunnel, our employees knew that we had their backs and they were able to maintain those benefits and get the help that they needed. So when it came time to turn the lights back on, they were proudly ready to come back.
Your company's been really focused, as many have, on diversity and inclusion here recently. So how has that helped with the culture of the company?
It's been huge. I'm very passionate. We're all very passionate about diversity, inclusion, as well as equity. That is something that has really, we've learned a lot that, the more diverse our culture can be, the more profitable it'll be, the more recognizable it'll be. It's one thing to have diversity, but what are you doing to keep those folks in your organization? So creating that inclusive environment, which goes back to the core values that we discussed, has just really been great for us.
Everybody's got their favorite Jeff Ruby restaurant,
yeah.
But the Precinct is the longest running fine dining establishment in the city. That's got to be exciting for you. Tell us what that means to the family.
It's an honor to think that a community has supported us for 41 years. Like I said, as a child, I grew up in that restaurant. I used to run around and drive people crazy in that restaurant. Now I have my own kids, and to be able to take them there and watch them, it's like reliving the experience. And it wouldn't be possible without the support of the community. 41 years it's been a great ride. And my job and my brother and sister's job now is just to not screw it up, and let's go for another 41 years.
So let's talk about that. What's next? What's the future look like for Jeff Ruby?
I think the future looks great. I think the future looks great for our entire industry. People are excited to dine out. There's pent up demand like never before. And it's great that we've got some great opportunities. We've got great culinary schools here in town. So I think it's exciting. It's fun to watch people get passionate about food. More importantly, it's fun to watch people get passionate about creating an experience that people will remember forever. We're not just in the restaurant business, we're in the people business, and the way we make people feel is, really even more important than the food we put on their plate.
That's a great point. I was actually going to ask that next question. What does it feel like to know that you are the destination restaurant? Like when somebody comes in from out of town, they're like, where should we eat? Jeff Ruby, you got to go to Jeff Ruby. To know that you're that special occasion place for engagements and anniversaries and all of that.
Yeah, that's special. Cincinnati is such a great community, and we're in many other cities as well. But to be able to, I think it starts with word of mouth. It starts by the way you make people feel, and there's no marketing that you can do around that. It's simply an actual feeling that people have in their hearts. And when you perform that and you execute that, they go and they tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends, and next thing you know, you're on the map.
Let's talk a little about the Jeff Ruby Foundation. You're the president. Tell me what that organization is. What are the goals?
So, we could talk all day about that. The Jeff Ruby Foundation is geared towards the foster care program, child poverty specifically. And really, the mission for the Jeff Ruby Foundation is to identify the obstacles that the foster care program has and that orphans face, and then to try to find resources that help eliminate those obstacles. It stems from my dad being raised and never knowing who his father was. He ran away from home when he was 13 and really had to take care of himself. He had a mentor that took him under his wing, but for the most part, he had to accomplish everything on his own. So we recognize that there are many people that are growing up or have grown up with those same obstacles, and we want to help eliminate some of that. For the restaurant industry, for our industry and our company, it's great that we can provide a great meal. It's great that we can, take care of our guests and give them a great experience. But we truly feel that we're called to do something beyond just feeding them their appetite. We feel that we have a purpose to fulfill, and the great thing that my dad established 41 years ago, a successful business that gives us a platform where people want to be a part of it, and they listen to us, and we're able to get seats at the table, we're able to get calls answered and emails returned, and we want to make sure that we fulfill our real purpose.
That's incredible. So let me ask you then about the new place. Tell us what someone who's been to maybe a couple of Jeff Ruby establishments so far, what is going to be different about the new location at the Foundry?
My dad is calling this his legacy restaurant.
Oh, wow.
So we've done some, it's like asking your child, which is your favorite child. It's a tough question to answer. But recently, the most recent restaurants that we've done have all had this really incredible blueprint, and we feel that there's a niche for that. Our own city doesn't have what we've done in Nashville and what we've done in Lexington and what we've done in Louisville and Columbus. So we're excited to kind of bring all of that experience that we've gained and to bring it back to our hometown and to create his legacy restaurant. And he's having fun building it. You
talked about the legacy. What kind of legacy is it that you think that this new location will kind of fulfill, as opposed to the Precinct and some of the other ones that we're also familiar with?
I think it's going to be a very energetic restaurant. The live entertainment, being across the street from Fountain Square, great grand patio, huge lounge area. It's going to have a legacy room that's going to pay homage to all of the Cincinnati legends over the years. And I think we're really excited about it. Art Deco, crystal chandeliers, great Gatsby feeling, something that, again, we've been able to accomplish in some other markets, and it's a really good feeling to bring it home.